Rahul. Thanks so much for doing this.
Great to be here. Thank you, Leah.
Okay, well, let's start at the very beginning. So tell us a little bit about Rehabtronics.
Yeah, absolutely. Rehabtronics, we're a neuroscience health technology company. And what that means is we use neuromodulation to restore motor function in people after stroke or neural injury. But we've just launched Prolivia, and it's the world's first neurostimulation-based solution for preventing pressure injuries or bed sores, which are essentially wounds that develop on people that have lost mobility or sensation. And that's not just people with a stroke or spinal cord injury, but also people with acute mobility loss, like, for example, they're in a coma or they're on the operating table. The system level impacts of pressure injuries on healthcare is shocking. Every year in the US alone, for example, 2.5 million people are affected by pressure injuries. $26 billion is spent on treating them, and yet still 60,000 will die because of them. They are, in fact, one of the most common, expensive, and deadly medical complications. So we're really excited about the impacts Prolivia is going to have.
No kidding, this is exciting. So tell me a little bit about what actually drew you to Rehabtronics, Rahul.
Yeah, I think with Rehabtronics, we have this opportunity to positively impact the lives of millions of people. When you think about it, we as humans, we're incredibly vulnerable when we've lost our ability to move. Whether that be because of a stroke or because we're in a coma or even if we're just on the operating table. In that moment that we've lost that ability, we're incredibly vulnerable. And not surprisingly, the loss of mobility is associated with poor clinical outcomes, a loss in quality of life, and the onset of a variety of medical complications such as deadly pressure injury. I saw this impact firsthand when I watched my father-in-law. He battled recurring pressure injuries for about 10 years before he finally succumbed to one. And the idea that something like Prolivia may have saved his life or the lives of thousands of others is what really draws me to this and motivates me.
No kidding. A personal motivation indeed. That's incredible. So let's just shift a little bit and talk about just some of the mechanical things, like how many years have you guys been in business?
Yeah, Rehabtronics started about 10 years ago. We launched our first product in 2014. We followed that up with two other products, Retouch and Regrasp. And then most recently, we received FDA clearance for Prolivia just last year.
That's so exciting. And how many employees do you have?
We currently have 10 employees. We also have 3 contract employees, and we operate a ISO 13.5 certified facility in Edmonton.
So incredible. You guys are growing fast. Okay, now you've already touched on this a little bit, and it's really important to us as an organization as well. But when you think of impact, what sort of impact do you really want to create with your company?
Well, with Prolivia, we see really an opportunity to catalyze a once-in-a-century paradigm shift in pressure injury management. The impact this will create cannot be understated. It's going to help capture billions in unnecessary healthcare expenses, and of course, save tens of thousands of lives.
That is an extraordinary impact. Very exciting. Okay, so if you're looking down the road, 5, 10 years down the road, what is coming up next for Rehabtronics?
Yeah, right now we're truly excited. Cleveland Clinic is starting to use Prolivia and collecting data with it, and over the next year, we're really looking forward to onboarding more ICUs across Europe or across the US, Europe and Canada. But that's really just the beginning, right? We want Prolivia to be, again, that once-in-a-century transformational change. And our goal is to build Prolivia into a vertical that uses real-time physiological data that optimizes the deployment of the appropriate interventions and nursing workflows. And that becomes the new standard of care.
That's incredible. I look forward to that for sure. Rahul, thank you so much for doing this.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Leah, for having me, and it was a lot of fun.